Broadcasting live from a command tower in the future sight frame, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome everybody to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Kathleen and Cameron. And today we're talking about Mystery Booster 2. But first, I want to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by our friends over at Card Kingdom. Please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your cardboard needs. Though not Mystery Booster 2, and we will touch on that, but other things. They'll ship sealed product anywhere in the U.S. and singles anywhere in the world. Singles you'll be able to get at some point. And if you ask nicely and you say, loading ready, run sent me, button, please, they'll give you a little 1-inch button, which we are currently on. How about you, don't?
So get
Still
that
relevant.
timely button.
Apparently there was a small blip where they were giving away one of the other designs, and they were like, no, we got to move to this before he actually gets banned. And they have a summer sale going on right now. So
They do, actually,
look for a coupon code for 10% off.
Ooh.
Also, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or by becoming a member on this channel. Shoutouts at the end of the episode. So, they've announced, finally, they announced Mystery Booster 2. It was actually during a Q&A that Gavin was doing at Gen Con. He had this in his back pocket that if anyone asked about Mystery Boosters, then he could answer with announcing Mystery Booster 2, and he posted a video of it, and I responded to him being like, look, I don't want to, no hate on your Gen Con audience, but like that crowd reaction was way more muted than it should have been because I am hooting and hollering over here. Now, none of us were at Gen Con. James, though.
Yeah, I was.
James was at Gen Con. I didn't tell you I was going to do this. Could you talk to us a little bit about Mystery Booster on the weekend?
Yeah, James.
I suppose I could. So I know Gavin was very excited to do his reveal the way that he did it. He's long wanted to have somebody ask him about an upcoming set or a set that people have been excited about,
And be able to just go,
to be able
yes!
to, yes, in fact, I can. So he had a lot of fun with that, but then he also put together the first two Mystery Booster 2 drafts. And it was featuring a bunch of MTG personalities and a bunch of attendees of the con. Nice. And full disclosure, I wasn't originally meant to be in the draft, but then when he found out that I was going to be there, he's like, all right, we'll get you in. So big shout out to Gavin. I appreciate it. It was a ton of fun.
Gavin remembering the little guys.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we got to draft Mystery Boosty there were 2 draft pods. And at the end, we battled against one another, which was, by the way, not supposed to happen. That was my idea. Like, before we started drafting, I was like, hey, Gavin, is the idea at the end that the 2 pod winners come together and battle? And he's like, sure, I guess, if there's time and, like, they want to do it. But, like, that wasn't really built into this experience. And I'm like, deal. And so I won my draft pod, and CGB won his. And we're like, well, we got nothing else to do, so let's play. And everybody else left. Like, it was just literally just at the end by like 3:30, 4 o'clock. It was just me and CGB and a couple judges sitting at the table still playing out our game. And it went to 4, by the way, because I drew a game because I was going to lose. And I was like, nope, no loss for me.
What'd you draw the game with?
So there's a card. I can't remember what it's called. It's a black card, 2 black, or 3 black. Deal 3 damage to all creatures, and each player takes 3 damage. And I was like, well, if I pass the turn and he untaps, I die. So I'm going to cast this and draw the game.
So you killed both of you?
Yep.
James, I'm so proud of you. That is
like,
such black bandit.
Yeah. Oh, I drafted the meanest blue-black control deck. It was unreal. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. The set seemed sweet.
So did all the judges that you were keeping after hours groan?
No, there were no actual.
You drew.
I think Gavin was the judge for the event. Technically speaking, these were just judges that were hanging out in the area.
Was it like when Drill was ordered by the judge to remove his V mask, revealing Joker makeup underneath?
Oh my god.
Really, actually?
No.
Oh.
But it was
It
really
was a
cool.
drill tweet.
Managed to be able to sneak a pack home. We recorded that. You recorded the Crack-A-Pack on Monday.
Yeah.
I
edited it that afternoon.
Yeah, and it went up, and it went very well, so that's great. Got to open a Collecty Boosty, or not a Collecty Boosty, Misty Boosty. But yeah, I don't know. What else do you want to know? It was sweet.
Yeah, no, that basically. It's so what they're doing. Okay. So Mystery Booster, the first, was originally a convention only thing, and it was to play at conventions, and it was a little under 1,700 cards.
Just huge.
Just this huge pool, like not even a cube, just like a bunch of stuff. It was curated, but tons of cards, and the packs were collated that there was 2 of every color. There's like the commons, which could be uncommons, would be like 2 white cards, 2 blue cards. So there was always an even split of the colors, and then the last 5 cards in the pack were 4 of the last 5 cards were could be multicolored stuff, could be artifacts. There's a rare or mythic in there as well, and then also there's the playtest cards, and the printings of this is where the list started. The printings in Mystery Booster, they were new printings of old cards. They had a little Planeswalker symbol on them, and they tended to pick, and I touched on this in the Crack-A-Pack, they tended to pick the printing that's seen the least light of day, like the if it's art that was only ever used once, or if it was just like printed in a dual deck, then they'll use like that expansion symbol for it and be like, this is the one from,
the Jace versus Liliana, or it's the
Jace versus Chandra.
Yeah, the Jace versus Chandra, and the Liliana versus Garrick dual decks.
Yeah.
Right.
Phyrexia versus the Coalition, Elves versus
Goblins.
Yeah. Anyway, so there was this fun sort of sub game of like, what expansion symbol is this? Which I always really enjoyed. And then the playtest cards were cards printed to look like Magic R&D actual playtest cards, which in R&D they just print out these plain stickers and stick them to a Magic card, and these were printed to look like that, and sometimes the card that they were printed over was like a reference. Like the what's it called, the green-black one with flying and vigilance.
Right.
That was like, there was this famous question in the Great Designer Search 3 that's like, because vigilance is tertiary to green and flying is in black, then you could have a like
Green
4/4
black Sarah Angel.
Yeah, you could have a 4/4 flying vigilance Sarah Angel, and that like works within the color pie. And so for the Golgari Death Swarm, so you can see it's 3 black green for a flying vigilance 4/4, but it's been taped over a card that is blue and white. That's a very, to me, that's a very funny reference. And all the art on these cards was done. This is a great one, but some of them were not as great, and because they were just done by like people in R&D, and they're uncredited, and it's a bunch of whatever. So this time they're doing a new round of those. There's even more silly stuff, but they've got actual Magic artists, and the art is still sketchy in black and white, but better, and it's actually credited, and I like that. And there's some cards from actually bring up Recyclabird. There's some cards from the first Mystery Booster that went on to turn into actual cards or actual mechanics. Because Recyclabird it's like a 1/1 flyer for 3 mana, I think, 2 and a blue, and it does something with putting a flying counter on something. This was the first we'd ever read flying counter.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it was like, yo, Gavin, how does this work? And he's like, how do you think it works? Right? And it's like, well, you put a counter on the creature, the flying counter has flying? Yes. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. And then they added ability counters to actual Magic.
Right.
And there are some cards, it's the actual stats don't necessarily work with an actual printed card, but there are some playtest cards from the first round of Mystery Boosters that did eventually like just 1-to-1 make it into actual Magic. Some of them just don't. Some of them do not.
The Mystery Booster test card that I really thought was interesting is called Zyym, Zyym. It's a vampire in blue-black for 4 mana, and it has this mechanic that when it enters the battlefield, target opponent, your opponent reveals cards from their hand in any order, and you can say like stop that one, and they discard it.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
I want to play this in my commander deck. I would love to make this my commander for my
What
Pauper
a
deck.
neat little game. Then that one also absolutely works within the rules of Magic
Yes.
as they stand now, which some of them don't.
So
but
if you I love that. You get a bomb and you're like, yeah, sheltered, stop. But like,
yeah, there was
show me what all of this garbage is.
I don't remember the name of it, but there was a card that essentially had the cleave mechanic. That it was like if you cast it this way, you ignore the words in square brackets,
Right.
kind of thing. And again, that was before we actually had cleave printed on actual cards. So that was very cool.
Mystery Boosties that old? They predate Ikoria?
2019.
Yeah, they came out in 2019.
So then, then there was reasons why people couldn't get to conventions, and so they also released Mystery Booster in retail, but there was a different version. Because there was still the convention edition and the retail version, and the difference was. It was important. Did the retail version not have the playtest cards?
No, they definitely did. I don't actually remember.
There was an important difference. Now I'm trying to remember what because
the
it was
difference
relevant. It was like
It could be mailed to you.
no, it
there
was
was
important. It was like, hey, I got some mystery booster cards. Like, oh, really? Are they convention edition? They are. Ooh, that's exciting. And I don't remember why.
I didn't the convention edition have like lottery tickets in them essentially that they had weirdo reprints? Not even reprints.
I don't remember.
Look this up.
I want
It
to
was
say
a long time ago.
Yeah, I want to say for all those cards that, threw out their freaky mechanics into the convention booster scene and everybody went, what the heck is that?
Oh yeah, no. The retail one does not have the test cards.
Huh.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
you were saying.
That's okay. I was just trying to fill time.
Oh.
I was just going to say I stand all those weird ideas that died on the convention floor.
So now, finally, Mystery Booster 2 is out and is back and is only to be a thing to be played at conventions, as was the intent of the original one. And there's been some pushback on that as a thing. And Mark Rosewater actually had an interesting piece of information on his blog about this, because people were like, why is this only convention? Why can't we buy this? And he said, because this is something that the convention team wanted. The convention team wanted a special thing to do at conventions. And so they paid for it out of their budget. If they didn't, it wouldn't have happened.
Wow.
So, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, I don't know. It's funny. I didn't have a problem with the original Mystery Booster being in conventions only, and I wasn't going to that many Magic conventions at the time. I would do, like, one every, 8 months, maybe, if I was lucky in those days. And so I was like, oh, what a cool idea. And so I got to a convention. I definitely been playing Mystery Boosters. But I guess maybe, I don't know if it's just general attitudes have changed, or if it's because the first one was eventually released at retail. If now it's like, well, hey, why can't we play this one? I don't know why there's, I don't know why there's discourse to the angry degree that there is. But I mean, I get it, but I'm not particularly.
I would
bothered.
say that some people are not comfortable going to a convention, and they also
I agree.
want to be able to participate.
Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to be upset about it. To be clear, I want to make it clear. I don't think it's unreasonable, but I think there's a level that
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I've seen some very angry posts, and I'm like, I don't think you need to be this angry, but maybe I am.
There's other things to get angry about if you've got an excess of foam.
This has always been my why people criticize me on this show. I'm like, why aren't you more angry, Graham? Anyway,
I mean,
'Cause I'm furious about other things.
my rage is tempered by the fact that the set looks super fun, and if I really want some of these very silly singles, I'm still going to be able to get them, because they've done things a little differently this time. As well as a bunch of reprints with the little tiny Planeswalker logo of older cards. There are also cards in the retro frame. We opened on Crack-A-Pack. We opened Soltari Trooper, printed with its original text templating.
remind me.
Which it's not that like weird, but James, could you look up Soltari Trooper?
I'll bring it up for you on the podcast.
like a recent printing of it from because it was in like a modern Time Spiral remastered 1 and a white for 1/1 Soltari soldier with shadow. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Right?
Okay.
But the one in the mystery booster was the printing from Tempest,
Yes.
I think, which reads, it does the same thing, but just the templating, if you're able to, is if Soltari Trooper attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Not whenever it attacks, just if it attacks, which is not how it's written now.
Right.
And the Oracle
right.
text is the whenever it attacks. And I looked at this card and I was reading it, and you can see this in the Crack-A-Pack. I'm like, that's not how that is worded now, is it?
That's because it's we are trained that these kind of abilities look for when
Yeah.
or
So there's going to be cards in the retro frames with their old text.
Ooh, with retro text.
Yeah, we opened Ghost Town, which has the ever popular, like when it's just an ability that you can just activate. It's like 0 generic mana
Right.
do this thing. Yeah, see, 0 mana, return it to its owner's hand. Whereas now I'm sure the Oracle text is just printed as an ability without a
That seems
cost.
Awesome in a landfall deck.
Yeah, apparently, because I
don't. What did they do with it?
I expressed confusion as to why this was good, and
Yeah.
people were like landfall, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
But this came out a long time before landfall. What did people do with it until then?
it's
don't
like
know.
Brainstorm or Caracas, right? Caracas didn't really take off until huge numbers of good legends were printed.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
And Brainstorm wasn't really that good until fetches were around, or trivially available.
Right, because you could just shuffle away that crap you didn't want. Because you crack your fetch. All right.
We also saw a card with the plane shift frame from Planar Chaos. We opened Merfolk Metallurgist or whatever.
Cool.
This is a frame I don't see very often. This was the Planar Chaos was the set where they take like a card that does a thing that's very much in one color and they put it in another color. This is the classic example for me is Giant Growth, which is single green +3/+3, and then they printed it in red as Brute Force, single red +3/+3, because red doesn't get effects like that are that much power and toughness, right?
Yeah, red
and
gets
so
+2/+0.
yeah, and so it's a red card, but it's a different frame. It's like a weird frame to be like, oh, it's another universe kind of thing. So yeah, we could see. I don't know if Brute Force is in Mystery Booster 2, but we could see other cards with that frame. I should say, when I say I don't know what cards are in here, at time of recording, it's unclear, frankly, if the full image gallery is out, because there have been a bunch of cards revealed, but not like 1,700 cards, and we don't know exactly. By the time you're seeing this, that may be more obvious.
I hope that we never get the whole thing spoiled, revealed, whatever. I think that they could just keep slipping new cards in. We'll never find out.
Just like
that'd be
with
very
Legends.
Ship of Theseus, this thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Legends and all of this stuff, I want to talk about a cool thing that I saw on Twitter.
Can I briefly touch on the other 2 card treatments that they're doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was yet more. Please go
Oh,
ahead.
there's more. So all those are being printed with their original expansion symbols. But now Mystery Booster has its own expansion symbol, which is a question mark.
Oh.
And that is being used for cards being seen in a different form that they've never been seen in before, such as with white border, which we discovered with the exception of that one-off Tybalt from a secret lair. This is the first time they printed white border cards in 19 years. And in the Future Sight frame, cards that have never been printed before in white border and never been printed before in the Future Sight frame. And
they're just closing the time loop.
Yeah,
for
it's
the Future Sight
just,
stuff.
It's
That's
just
great.
wild and fun. And we open. Whoa, it's so bright.
Wow, why? God.
I opened Sarah the Benevolent.
Oh,
and
that looks like.
my reaction in the Crack-a-Pack episode is genuine, where I picked it, I looked at it and went, "Wow," because it was jarring. The modern frame with the deeper cut on the bottom is weird with white. It's worse with legendaries. Could you bring up Uro, James? Because Uro is like a shocking thing as far as I'm concerned. Like the little legendary scalloping across the top is like, I don't know. I hate it, and I'm also glad.
I'm
that they
so
did
glad this exists because somebody is just like, I must have it.
Did you see how they printed white out with the white border? Did you see that?
I don't like it.
Oh, I think that's probably
I
perfect.
feel like I once knew a dog who hated looking at itself in the mirror. Not because it got angry, but because it seemed embarrassed and didn't like knowing that it was a dog. And this is, I think, how it felt.
Can you,
Just I don't like looking at that.
James? Can you bring up the white border?
So I can't see. This is why I'm very confused.
It's on
because,
Scryfall.
Is it? Because
Yeah.
I don't have it in Scryfall. Now I'm very confused.
Take Uro away, please.
If you,
Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it.
There it is. That's it.
That's really dumb.
For those watching at home, it's a copy of Whiteout with a white border, and the entire art is also just white. Ta-da! All right.
I love how we got Indicate.
Indicate's so funny. So before we start going through a bunch, because we're gonna talk about a bunch of the playtest cards. James is gonna throw playtest cards up, and we'll read them and react to them. But Kathleen, what do you want to share?
We're talking a lot about how these are throwbacks to Magic's past and history and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, we haven't done this in 19 years, and oh, this card, and no. One of the things that I saw Gavin Verhey talking about today was Magic Invitational winner cards. So there's John Finkel and Kai Buddha who won. Mm-hmm. And apparently they famously had cards that were too strong and got redesigned, according to a tweet from... this is a tweet from Gavin, so I'm just going to say this is a first-hand... this legitimate source that their cards as submitted were too good and had to be redesigned. So, so he put them in the Magic booster, sort of their original designs, essentially.
Oh.
So, there's one card called Wrath of Leknif, which is Finkel backwards. And it's destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Untap up to 4 lands you control.
Why is this too strong?
Oh, I love that this has been pasted over top of a Shadow Mage Infiltrator.
It has, yes,
Of course.
exactly. And it's got the same kind of art. That's great. And he looks so devious in the art. So I think that's really great.
That's the face of someone who's wrathing the board, then holding up counter magic.
Oh, that's rude. And then the other one was Wise Drafter's Will, which is an enchantment. Your opponents play with their hands revealed, sacrifice it, draw a card, sacrifice it for 2 blue, counter target spell. And that's also absolutely bananas busted. And and it's also pasted over Kai's invitational card, which is the sorcerer that you
Willbender?
Willbender.
Yeah,
The one where you can sacrifice other sorcerers to counter spells.
Oh, maybe not Willbender.
So I don't remember what the card's called.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't remember either, but I know the one you're thinking. I know. I can picture it.
Okay.
I can picture Kai
That's
Buddha.
okay. It's probably somewhere
It's
in
like
this Twitter
deflecting
thread.
something off of his like chest plate or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm very confused as to why I can't find this, but Twitter sucks now.
It is Void Mage Prodigy.
Void
Yes.
Mage Prodigy. Thank you, James. Can you
Thank
put
you.
up Void Mage Prodigy?
Give me one moment.
Oh, thank you. Just so we can see the lovely original card. And I think there's a
Yeah. He's got his weird like torso armor. Why did I think it was bouncing off of that? Maybe it's coming out of that?
But you sacrifice a wizard and you counter the target spell. I forgot it had morph.
Yeah.
Why does it have morph?
I don't know. That's why I was confusing it with Willbender. Probably because it came out in Onslaught. They're like, guess it's going to have morph.
Anyhow, I think that's cool.
That's great.
I think that's great. I think that's like solidifying because like people know that there are like invitational cards and stuff like that, but like this happened a long time ago, and I love that like it sort of solidifies the history of this oral history.
Mm-hmm. This is great.
Keeps it alive in the community because you look at the card and it's like somebody could say, I heard a story about that on a podcast, and then you've made a friend and learned a fact. God, the gathering. Ugh.
There are. Can I hit you with an even deeper cut potentially?
I love them.
Maybe it's not. Maybe the Invitational winners' original submitted designs is a deeper cut, but this is still wild. So, Velucan Dragon. It is 5 red for a 5/5 flying dragon. Whenever it attacks or blocks, roll a 6-sided die, and Velucan Dragon gets +X+O until end of turn, where X is the result -1. So this being printed here for the first time, I mean, actually, period, being in the Future Sight frame, is originally it is a pre-existing Magic card from 2000, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
There are 10 cards that were created exclusively for the Sega Dreamcast Magic the Gathering game.
Huh.
That have never been actually printed, and that's one of them.
Oh my God, with the original art?
With the original art. So it was only ever shown digitally in Japanese. And now it's getting an actual proper printing. And I'm previously unaware of these cards existing. And yeah, like I said, there's 10 of them, and some of the art looks super cool.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, I love it. I love using Mystery Booster as an excuse to do very silly stuff like this.
God, somebody put flavor text on this.
There's even some cards from Alchemy that function like Arena Alchemy, like they printed Toralf's Disciple, which is it's 2 and a red for a 3/3 with haste. Whenever it attacks, conjure 4 cards named Lightning Bolt and into your library, then shuffle. What?
Didn't like that one. There we go. I fixed it.
Why was it so small?
Also, didn't we get Power 9 Bird?
Oracle of the Alpha.
They sure did.
Right. And the Clockmaker.
Oh, did we? I didn't see that one. Stupid.
Yeah, Rusco.
Oh,
No.
Rusco. No, not this guy.
Rusco.
Roscoe. Yeah. So
Rusco drank all the Coke in the fridge.
Rusco was like everyone's like super deep cut Urza Saga character that everybody was like kind of sad didn't get into the main set.
Oh.
So
they made him a massive problem in Brawl, where he was he was relegated to Hell Q. Do you know what that is? I only learned about it because of Rusco.
no.
There are certain commanders where if you queue up in Arena Brawl, Historic Brawl, or they changed it and it's just Brawl now. Anyway,
Oh, they just have they have a ball pit for the unfair people?
yes, if you queue up with certain commanders, Arena goes, all right, we're going to pair you off with other degenerates.
Wow.
And it's been nicknamed Hell Queue, and Rusko goes in there now
Wow.
because he's too miserable to play against otherwise.
Who else is in the ball pit?
I
sad
can't
boys?
remember. I should look this up. I only really learned about this recently.
Could we just make that for everything?
Well,
Like-
ball pit for sad boys. You have to go over there until you can stop being such a menace.
Yep. Oh, well, you've registered this? Just this way, sir. We have a special queue for discerning people such as yourself.
For connoisseurs such as yourself.
It was mentioned in a forum thread that no longer exists. This article quotes it. Developers note, Omnath Locus of Creation will remain playable in Historic Brawl, but will be weighted alongside the other more competitive commanders, e.g. Nicol Bolas Dragon God and Niv Mizzet Reborn. Now, that was from several years ago. So I don't know, who's in the Hell Queue now.
I'm putting a bounty out on this fact. If you know who's in Hell Queue, email me. Contact me securely.
Put in the comments.
Or if you don't, or if you're like, look, I can tell you, but I can't tell you publicly. I would never. I would protect my sources to the day I die. My email's available.
Fair enough. So now let's take a look at some of the new playtest cards.
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to throw these at you in Wooburg order.
Oh, okay.
We'll pick a couple from each color and we'll go down the list.
Sounds great.
Here you go. This one broke my brain.
right.
I opened this and I was like, nope, I don't want it.
I love it. So this is Abbot of the Sacred Meeple.
Is
One-
that a board game?
Yeah, 1 and a white for a 2/2 human monk with I want to say it's like
Sinisher,
Sinisher. Okay,
I think.
which says this creature can occupy a space 2 spaces higher on the monk track than its power.
What?
Once on each of your odd-numbered beige production phases, you may spend 2 additional sheep when constructing a building. If you do, you may activate the lesser production ability of any building of prestige 5 or lower you control. Exceptions: apiary, cobbler, but not shoemaker, and wainwright.
So it's a 2/2 for 2.
It's a 2/2
It
for
is.
2.
It is Sinecure. My bad. And I don't know what it is about that combination of words, but it activated whatever part of my brain immediately turns off whenever someone tries to explain the rules of a really fun board game to me.
Yep. I mean, that's definitely the idea. Yeah, there's a victory point track on the art, and it's a meeple. This is just joking about Euro games. What was the one on Parks and Rec? The Cones of Dunshire, I think.
In the event of a tie, the player with
Antidonna.
more points wins.
Yep. Auntie Donna did a sketch about learning how to play a board game. Like, this is
One of my favorite novels is, well, maybe not my favorite, one of my favorites, but like a very good novel I read it's a post-apocalyptic novel, and one of the characters says the only good thing about the apocalypse was that nobody was ever going to make her play Settlers of Catan ever again.
wonderful. I just love odd-numbered beige production phases in a parenthetical. That's beautiful. And beige.
Somebody
is a
had a
great
lot of
choice.
fun writing that text.
Wainwright.
This comes from a place of love and loathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Functionally, great work, excellent work in a game of actual Magic. This is a 2/2 for 2. Human
I
monk.
like how you're just like you're like do all this. I'm like, so it's a 2/2 for 2. And just like take all of the fun out. But just wait till a Wainwright thing comes out 5 years from now.
Yep. Intangible Vibes. I have not seen this one. 1 and a white for an enchantment. All creatures are tokens. They're considered tokens for spells and abilities, and after a creature leaves the battlefield, it ceases to exist.
Oh.
Well.
Oh, well.
Right. Intangible virtue, but intangible vibes.
Oh. This seems very powerful in Commander.
Huh.
What a rude card.
You can just make everything go away forever.
Take that, bounce.
I love that a lot. All right, next. Planewalker. Oh, God. 2 and a white for a Kithkin rogue with Planeswalk. and Planeswalker Walk, which is this creature can't be blocked as long as defending player controls a Planeswalker. Whenever Planewalker deals combat damage to a player or Planeswalker, Planeswalk.
If you're playing Plane Chase, proceed to the next plane. Oh my god.
Hilarious.
I like that a lot. Planeswalker Walk. I could see them making Planeswalker Walk an actual ability with a better name.
Oh yeah, like Malice or something like that, or Vendetta.
Good names.
Yeah.
Sliver of Hope. Boo. 3 and a white for a 3/3 sliver. Slivers you control have hope. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures with hope.
Wait,
Yikes.
slivers you control.
Yeah.
Not all slivers.
Oh no. All your slivers have hope and they can't be hurt when they're attacking? That's messed up.
Oh geez, that okay.
Oh no, this card's too good. Oh boy. All right.
I've seen this one. This one actually really entertains me.
Can't quite recall. I mean, you want to give this one a read?
Yeah, can't quite recall. 1 blue instant with the keyword forbidden. With the reminder text, this card can't be in your starting deck. Yes, you read that right. You need to figure out a way to get it into the game without it being in your deck. Target player draws 3 cards. So you've got to
wish for it?
Yep.
Or probably mostly that.
Yeah,
Mostly wishing.
Yeah.
I'm going
Mostly
to
wishing.
assume.
All right, Cam, what do you got next for us?
Heart of a Duelist. 1 in a blue, you get an enchantment. You may draw cards from anywhere in your library. You don't get to look at them or reorder them while doing so. When Heart of a Duelist enters the battlefield, draw a card. Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Heart of the cards. That's wonderful. You get to just be like, this one.
I want a copy of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, you would scry and always draw from the bottom, right?
I guess.
Oh,
That seems
yes.
like against the spirit of the thing.
No, but you were right. You would scry and you scry and you draw from the bottom. Obviously, is the way to break that. I would just draw randomly, obviously,
Clearly.
because I'm a smooth brain would never think of actually cheat. Like
I want to draw
Yeah,
from
it's just like
here.
yeah. Like you open up my skull and it looks just like a raw chicken breast. But this is cool.
Next.
Subgoyf. 1 in a blue artifact creature Lurgoyf. Subgoyf's power and toughness are each equal to the number of different subtypes other than creature types among cards in all graveyards, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. Subtypes include but are absolutely not limited to planes, equipment, aura, arcane, jace, curse, urzas, ulamogs, etc.
oh my
So
god.
subtypes, but to keep it from being grossly impractical, not creature types. So like human, merfolk, brushwag, none of those count.
I guess.
But like food,
Oh,
clue. Yeah.
there's so many things to
Aura.
keep track of.
Arcane. Oh, it says arcane.
And aura.
That's amazing. I love it.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Hit us with the next one.
Creepy Crawler, 3 in a black, menace and reach. You get a spider who is a 2/4. Whenever Creepy Crawler deals combat damage to a player who is afraid of you, that player discards a card and you draw a card. An opponent is afraid of you if a horror, nightmare, enchantment, or face-down creature you control entered the battlefield or attacked them this turn.
This is another one that absolutely works within the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I love now having a definition for there. It's afraid.
It's afraid. If an horror, nightmare, enchantment, or face-down creature. I love because the
Why
face-down creature
enchantment?
could be anything.
Because it's face down.
The enchantment, I guess, like a curse,
I guess.
maybe?
Maybe otherwise you don't get enough hits on this.
Probably.
Because horror and nightmare are just like 2 creature types.
Yeah.
Mm.
You want to keep reading the black ones, Kathleen?
Oh, sure. Hey, it's time for halving season. Wow, that's grim. Oh, but I love it. It's an enchantment. If an opponent would create one or more tokens, they create half that many of each of those kinds of tokens, instead rounded down. And similarly, if they would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many, instead rounded down. Oh my gosh.
I love how confused the Hydra looks.
Yeah, it's like, where's the rest of them? That's incroyable.
Halving season.
Having season.
It's great.
I'm having some answers to these screen players. It's Pinchy McStingbutt.
What?
He's a little scorpion. Not a legendary creature, despite having quite a, I would say, specific and unique sounding name. Whenever Pinchy McStingbutt deals combat damage to a player, conjure a card named Death of 1,000 Stings, Lethal Sting, or Stinging Shot at random into your hand and reveal it. Treat conjured cards like cards. Ah.
Oh, they've brought Conjure to the playtest cards now. What are those? Are those real cards? They are, aren't they? I know
They have
Lethal
to be.
Sting. They have to be, yeah. What's Death of 1,000 Stings?
No idea. It's probably old as heck.
Or it's from a Commander
Just give
product.
me a second here.
We've never, James is going to try and figure out. Or it's from a Commander product and we've just never seen it. Or
This does sort of mean that you do need internet access when you're
Yes.
playing with these
Wheeler
cards.
would be upset that we didn't know this.
what?
It's a Kamigawa card.
Kamigawa. 4 and a black instant arcane. Target player loses a life and you gain a life at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have more cards in hand than each opponent, you may return Death of 1,000 Stings from your graveyard to your hand. Still, though, 5 mana? I guess if the game's going long.
I just think there's more efficient ways to ping them, to drain
Yikes.
them for one.
But it does have very nice Scott Hem Fisher art.
It does.
Yes, it-
and then
Looks like a novel I would have read.
Lethal Sting is like a 3-mana removal spell from like Ikoria or something. I want to say.
I want to say Amonkhet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Hour of Devastation.
Yeah.
Hey, by our powers combined, we figured out basically what the card does. It's a 2 and a black sorcery. An additional cost. You put a -1/-1 counter on a creature you control. Destroy target creature. I knew there was something green doing that. And which one's Stinging Shot? Is that one more recent?
I don't know what any of these cards are.
Oh,
That's another.
yeah.
That's an Amonkhet card.
Oh yeah, single green mana. Put 3 -1/-1 counter on a creature with flying, and it has cycling. Sweet. All right, what's the next playtest card?
Oh, TLDR. Exile target creature if it has abilities other than keywords. Flying, protection, and partner are all keywords. See Rule 702 for details. Landfall and Scry aren't keywords. They're an ability word and a keyword action, respectively. Yes, there's a difference.
Oh no. So, if it has abilities other than keywords.
So if it's like a 2/2 with vigilance, no, you can't get rid of that.
yeah.
But if it's a 2/2 with vigilance and tap target creature, then get out of here.
Yeah.
You're getting exiled.
This hits everything printed after 2021.
No kidding. Wow. That's great. I love it.
It famously can't hit a Windrake.
right.
Famously.
Let's move on to red.
What's the Oh, okay. Huh?
Okay,
Boulder go ahead.
Boulder Jockey, 2 red D. D is a land drop. You may give up 1 potential land drop this turn to pay for D. Oh, so you can't play a land this turn,
Interesting.
but you can then play it as a discount.
So you have to play it on
Turn 4.
yeah.
And you miss your 4 drop, but you've got a 4/4. Anyhow, whenever Boulder Jockey attacks, you must pay D.
You may pay D.
Or you may pay D. You may skip your land drop again for the turn. If you do, create a 3/3 colorless construct artifact creature token named Boulder that's tapped at attacking. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, you literally throw your land at them.
I guess this is the solution to, I mean, cards that were like, sacrifice a land when you play this. And you'd be like, Melting Glaciers it is.
Yeah, this card sucks. Sorry. It was like you you skip your 4th land drop and you get a 4/4, but then you attack with it on turn 5 and you can skip your land drop again to make a 3/3, but the 3/3 goes away.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want to ever do that.
No.
But I like the design space of.
Oh, I do too. I think I
Hey,
think
you
the
give-
big D is a cool idea.
Yeah, like what if I didn't have a land to drop anyhow? I could certainly give up my land drop for the turn if I didn't have a land to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
If this had
fair.
haste,
Yeah,
that would
I
probably
want
feel
it to have
less
haste.
bad. But then again,
3/3
then
with
you would.
haste.
How do you stack the Ds? If you can pay for multiple Ds,
Well, I think
how do those pack in?
you've already given up the potential land drop when you cast it. But if you have like Fast Bond or something, then I guess you pay a life and give. Do you still have to pay the life if you're? No, you wouldn't have to.
Hey, chat, if you're smarter than us,
Chat.
could you weigh in the comments below and just tell us how to make this degenerate? Like, I know you're all yelling at us because we don't see the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think I see it. I don't think it's great.
They're all just yelling, "Do you pay the D?"
Yeah.
No,
Next.
that's a big decision. Whoa. Planes walkerificate. Planes walkerificate. It's an aura for 2 red. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature is a planeswalker in addition to its other types. Its toughness becomes its loyalty. You change its toughness to activate loyalty abilities. Damage lowers toughness. Toughness doesn't heal at end of turn. It can't block and gains the following abilities. 1. +1 toughness. Add red. -1. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. -X. This planeswalker deals X damage to any target. And then they literally, I believe, show a creature blowing up. So I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Isn't that just like?
Oh, maybe they're just
That's a spark
becoming the
igniting.
planeswalker.
Yeah, I think that's just a little lizard who's going through it.
Yeah, look how happy they look.
I love the art in this set. It's very charming.
Yeah, you can just turn any creature into a planeswalker. What's up,
Neat.
Sparky? Let's
Love
go.
that, actually.
That's very cool. I like that a lot.
Ooh, Graham, you should read all the red
All right.
cards. Or green cards.
Dairy cow. Green for a 2/1 cow with grazing type. This creature enters the battlefield with 5 milk counters on it for each forest and or plant you control.
What?
Don't like that at all.
Now,
This is going to have the most cursed altars.
so it's a Savannah Lions in green. It's
Yeah.
a 2/1 for a single mana.
Yeah.
And that's it, because all grazing type does is put milk counters on it, and the milk counters don't do anything.
Oh, yeah, no.
In the
this is gonna
mechanics
have
of Magic.
Profoundly cursed altars. I
It
can
really
feel
will.
it already.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get thrown out of a game store over this one.
Pretty sure this was made in reference to a ProZD video.
Oh,
Probably.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that
Oh,
one.
wow. Yeah, no, okay, yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's like every TCG is like just making up like random abilities
Right, and then,
stuff.
yeah, removing milk counters to make cheese counters.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. It's a grazing type.
Maybe there's a cheese thing somewhere.
Mm-hmm. The Colossal Dreadmaw. legendary dinosaur. 4 green for a 6/6 with trample. You may cast creature cards from your hand as though they were Colossal Dreadmaw. They become Colossal Dreadmaws. This was one of
It's
the.
printed on a colossal dreadmaw.
This was an unknown card.
There are a few unknown cards.
Yeah,
that have
I
been
remember
turned
playing
into-
with this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just means that it just means any creature you can you have to pay 4 green for it, but it's a 6/6 with trample. It's great. Yeah, the Colossal Dreadmaw. Why is he 1990s cool dinosaur?
I guess this is Tappy's invitational card.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Oh, amazing. Ren and 1?
I've
Oh,
seen this
no.
one.
I hadn't. So a land planeswalker, Ren. So free to play, 1 loyalty. +1 loyalty, Ren and 1 gains tap, add green until your next turn. -1 loyalty, make a squirrel token. -4, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add green for each creature you control.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's amazing and hilarious, and what a great illustration. That's terrifying. I love it. Fludge.
This
Gunk
is for Ben.
Guardian. Yeah, this Ben's been banging the drum of Gunk Slug for the longest time, and now we have a legendary Gunk Slug named Fludge. 3 black-green for a 5/5 legendary Slug Ooze. Whenever Fludge or another Slug, Ooze, Fungus, or Mutant enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent shuffles 3 Gunk cards into their library. Gunk is a colorless sorcery with no mana cost that has cycling 4.
You just give them a junk drawer.
Yeah.
A junk draw.
Yeah.
And then they have to
to
pay 4 to get their actual card.
They have to clean the gunk out of their deck.
That's disgusting. I
Yeah.
love it. That's honestly cruel. This would go into the hell queue.
Yeah, I love Fludge. If we ever do a Friday Night Paper Fight that's all like playtest nonsense, Ben's gonna Fludge. Ah, yes, that's why I wore the T-shirt today. Junned him out.
Junned him out is
Junned him out.
Also with honestly super sick artwork.
It's incredibly sick artwork from Drew Moss. I love that it's like letterbox format. Like there's too many rules. So Junned him out is black, red, green for a sorcery with art of, it looks like it's Liliana, Chandra,
And a Bloodbraid Elf.
No, it's a Tarmogoyf.
Liliana and a Bloodbraid Elf inside a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was like a lightning elemental, but no, that makes much more sense. It has Retrace. Sorry if you don't know what that does, because it says, sorry, no room for reminder text. Then choose one at random. Create a copy of the chosen card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Either Abrupt Decay, Blightning, Bloodbraid Elf, Lightning Bolt, Liliana of the Veil, or Tarmogoyf. And as Cam pointed out when this was spoiled, you can cascade into itself, because you can cast Junned him out and hit Bloodbraid Elf, and then you are casting the copy, so you would then get to cascade, and cascading Bloodbraid Elf could hit Junned him out. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Into an Umazawa's jet.
I assume we have Gavin to thank for this, and I profusely do. That's wonderful.
I would like a copy of this for the office.
No kidding.
So if you have a copy of this and you would like to send it to us, because I don't know how to get one.
Vegas, baby.
Oh, I'll get one in Vegas.
At first, I wondered why this had Retrace instead of Cascade, but it's so at 2-for-1s.
Value.
Nice. That's great. Oh, this is so funny. This is so funny. This was a joke that I saw on like the Magic subreddit years ago.
Yeah.
Which is just taking Vindicate and crossing out the V. So Vindicate is like one black white, destroy target permanent. And then this is for 0 mana. It's just indicate sorcery, target permanent. That's it. It just targets something with the flavor text from Soren. You indicate.
It's so funny. Drew Moss has he's done a lot of the art for this, and like once again, the art on this with like the speed lines around the finger, like shoom.
This is tech against Kira, Great Glass Spinner.
Yeah.
Right? Target. Man, actually,
Putting Kira, Great Glass Spinner, on notice.
This is colorless, right?
Yeah.
This goes right into Nadu.
Oh no!
You.
So get those
funny.
buttons at Card Kingdom.
I love it.
All right, we're gonna call this the last one because we're at about an hour and there's so many. We could spend another episode easy. Maybe we will.
Maybe we will. I'm having a great time.
But Rune Terror is a heck of a thing.
The what? Runed Terror. 6 mana, 6/6 for an artifact creature elemental champion. Instead of taking turns as normal, players take their phases sequentially. That's it for the ability. The reminder text says, for example, you take your beginning phase as the active player. Then the next player becomes the active player and takes their beginning phase.
No.
After each player's had a beginning phase, do the same for first main, combat phase, second main, ending phase, and then beginning phase again. If this creature leaves the battlefield, the active player continues their turn as normal. So it'd be, I play this in presumably my first main, and then if I pass priority at the end of my main phase, instead of going into combat, it's now your main phase. And then I get combat, and I do attacks and blocks and damage. And then you get combat and do attacks and blocks and damage.
What happens if during one of your main, like your first main phase, you do your main phase, pass to your opponent who does their main phase, who O-rings this thing? Do they continue with their turn?
Yeah. Then they just get their turn.
What happens if you're playing Commander and there's 4 of you?
Oh, then you cry. then you simply go live in the woods.
Like, in my head, when I was trying to plot out how this worked, for some reason there's 6 people at the Commander table.
I think at that point you're just relitigating the anime club from Casey Green.
Oh.
I think you figure out a way to uninstall a cardboard game and go live in the woods.
I think we could get through a turn of that. It's only a 6/6 for 6. What is the point of this? Why? Gavin, why?
Taking a swipe at Runeterra?
Yeah, I guess.
Look,
Is that how Runeterra plays? Is this a jape?
I've really ratcheted. It is, isn't it? That's exactly what this is. How didn't I see that? Because that's how you play Runeterra, right?
Yes.
I'm so stupid. Wow. I've been really trying to ratchet down how much Magic I actually play at Magic Cons because I'm so busy, but I'm going to have to jam a bunch of this at Vegas.
You can't get it through the festival in a box too,
Oh,
right?
that's true.
So we'll definitely at least get a box into the office somehow to draft
okay?
this.
Yeah, I
just realizing that your husband's a fool.
No, it's just is this a jape? Got us both.
I was so happy that I made Cameron laugh, and then I realized what you were going on about, and I was like, two crashes of comedy just came together, and my brain was like, shut her down, boys. We're taking 5, and I didn't hear anything that happened. What's going on?
We're ending the stream.
Yeah,
Later, chat.
I should have mentioned this at the top, but you can also get Mystery Booster 2 in the festival in a box thing that they're going to be selling for Vegas. So there is a way to get it if you're not going there. It won't be cheap, but there is a way.
Yeah.
So there's that, I suppose. Okay. But once people start cracking them open and selling them, you'll be able to buy them at Card Kingdom. So check out cardkingdom.com/LRR and check out their summer sale and get a coupon code and get yourself a discount. Tell them we sent you. Ask for a button. It helps us out a lot if you use the /LRR when you go there and buy your cards. Also, the show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon. Indicate.
Target permanent.
It's brought to you by you at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or by becoming a member of this channel.
Ciao.
Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Kathleen and Cameron. James has been on tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everybody.